Hi, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, a place where you can learn about body language and nonverbal communication. We lay it down plain and simple so you're able to read the minds of others purely through understanding the lessons, what you'll find on this channel. Click like, click subscribe, feel free to leave a comment, and let's get on with it. So, today is going to be a relatively short lesson, as I have covered some of the principles in earlier videos. Today we're going to be talking about the blink rate of an individual, so when somebody closes their eyes momentarily, to blink their eyes, and how it also applies to eye blocking, which we've spoke about in a earlier video, okay? So I'll cover the basic groundwork so we can re-emphasize that information and really drill it into your subconscious. Regarding blinking, a normal relaxed blinking rate is around 6 to 8 blinks per minute. The eyes will only close for as small a time as 1/10 of a second, alright? Whereas when people are under pressure and the brain is aroused and excited, such as when they're lying, okay? So you can utilize this to decipher as to whether somebody's telling an untruth, of course whilst assessing the rest of their body language and paying attention to the clusters. The blink rate may possibly dramatically increase, okay? Now obviously it doesn't always mean that the individual is lying, but it means that there is a surplus of I would say stressful energy, nervous energy running through the person at that moment in time. You see this very often when you watch interviews on the television. So if somebody's having a conversation on the news with a news reporter and they're not used to that particular environment, you will be able to see that their blink rate is going to be very, very frequent. Okay? When somebody is speaking about something which is uncomfortable for them, you're going to see their blink rate jump to a higher frequency, a higher tempo. Okay? Now let's talk about blocking and eye blocking and how that relates to the blink rate. Now, I've done a video on this, okay? So just go in my catalogue and search eye blocking and you will see this. So when an individual blinks but prolongs the closure of the eyes a little longer than what you would deem their normal baseline behaviour, that's the mind essentially shutting out either you or the information the brain is processing momentarily. It's a brief escape. So when we are walking along a road and we're about to witness a car crash, a horrific event, what we'll do is we will cover up our eyes in order to prevent our brains from absorbing such horrific information. And this is a subconscious behaviour. We don't choose to do so. We will close our eyes in preparation of just the negative information the brain is going to absorb. And so it is when it comes to having a conversation. Or let's use another example. So when you are walking out of the house, you've locked the door and you're walking down the street to go to where you need to go, and you remember you've left something vital in the house. A freeze response kicks in as you clock onto it that you have to turn around and do it, and you may just hold a closure of the eyes momentarily in a cringe-esque fashion. Alright? The information's there and it's bad news, but for that moment you just think, oh, I want to block it out, my brain wants to block it out, and we don't choose to do this. It's a subconscious way of doing that and regulating the surge of negative information. So if you're speaking to a girl on a date and you find that her blinking is very prolonged and accentuated the closure of the eyes, you have to question as to whether that's something to do with you and how you're communicating with this individual. Is she trying to shut you out? And staying on topic, you must also pay attention to the rate of the blinking. So if she's not necessarily blocking you out, but she's blinking very frequently, she might feel a little insecure, as we do when we initially form friendships and bonds. Okay, when we want to put the best foot forward and so forth, we may have a surplus of nervous energy. So it might actually be a good thing if the blink rate is flying, alright? So to re-clarify, the blocking of the eyes is as if the brain can no longer tolerate dealing with what's before them visually or what's going on in their brain. So the eyes may shut for up to 2 to 3 seconds, potentially even longer, but that'll be very evident, to block and momentarily remove the stimuli from the mind, alright? So hopefully this was of benefit. Hopefully you've learned a little something. Just a couple of topics today. Just to re-clarify, we spoke about the accentuation and the higher frequency of blinking. And we've discussed, once again, the usage of the closure of the eyes to block out negative experience. If you enjoyed what you heard, click like, click subscribe, leave a comment. Until next time, goodbye.